The Gathering Storm. In the year 2145, Earth found itself at a crossroads, teetering on the brink of annihilation. The Galactic Empire, a vast interstellar authority known for its ruthlessness, had set its sights on Earth, viewing it as a primitive world ripe for conquest. As news of their impending arrival spread, panic gripped nations, igniting debates in every corner of society. The Council assembles. In an underground bunker nestled deep within the Swiss Alps, representatives from every nation gathered in a rare moment of unity. This assembly was unlike any previous meeting. It was not merely about politics or power, but about survival. At the center of this gathering sat Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a renowned astrophysicist whose groundbreaking work had made her an icon of hope. Dr. Rodriguez stood before her peers, her voice steady but urgent. "We must present a united front," she declared, her eyes scanning the anxious faces around her. "If we are to stand any chance against the Galactic Empire, we need to show them that we are more than just a collection of nations. We are one humanity." The room buzzed with murmurs as leaders weighed their options. Some advocated for immediate military action, while others argued for diplomacy. Hours turned into days as discussions intensified, each faction vying to assert its vision for humanity's future. A dangerous proposition. Finally, after much deliberation, a consensus emerged. They would attempt diplomacy first. A small delegation would be chosen to represent Earth in direct talks with Commander Zor, the formidable leader of the Galactic Empire. This decision was met with mixed reactions. Some saw it as a beacon of hope, while others deemed it naive. Dr. Rodriguez was selected to lead this delegation alongside several diplomats and scientists who could showcase humanity's achievements. They gathered artifacts ranging from ancient literature to advanced technologies, hoping to persuade their extraterrestrial counterparts that Earth was worth saving. As they prepared for their mission, a sense of dread loomed over them like a dark cloud. Would their efforts be in vain? Would they be seen as mere insects beneath an imperial boot? Yet amidst this uncertainty there was also hope, a flicker that perhaps reason could prevail over brute force. The final preparations. On the day of their departure, Earth held its breath. Millions watched as Dr. Rodriguez and her team boarded their shuttle, which would take them into uncharted territory aboard an alien mothership. Cameras captured every moment. This was not just a mission, but a symbol of humanity's resilience. As they ascended into the sky, Dr. Rodriguez gazed out at the blue planet below, a jewel suspended in darkness, and felt a surge of determination wash over her. She knew that they were not just representing themselves, but all of humankind. Whatever happens, she whispered to herself, we must show them our strength. The shuttle pierced through layers of atmosphere until it reached orbit around Earth, where it docked with a massive alien ship looming in space like a predator waiting to strike. First impressions. Stepping onto the alien vessel was akin to stepping into another world entirely. The architecture was unlike anything found on Earth. Sleek lines and bioluminescent materials created an atmosphere both awe-inspiring and intimidating. As they walked through dimly lit corridors filled with strange symbols and sounds, doubts crept into Dr. Rodriguez's mind. What if they were making a grave mistake? What if this was merely an elaborate trap? Yet she pushed these thoughts aside. Fear could not dictate their actions now. They were led into a grand chamber where Commander Zor awaited them, a towering figure clad in ornate armor that gleamed under artificial lights. His presence commanded respect and fear in equal measure. "Welcome," he intoned, his voice deep and resonant like thunder rolling across distant mountains. "You come seeking peace, or do you bring war?" The weight of humanity. Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, heart racing, but resolve firming her stance. "We come seeking understanding," she replied boldly. "We are not your enemies. We wish only to coexist." Zor regarded her with piercing eyes that seemed to see through her very soul. "Your kind has much to prove," he said slowly, his tone laced with skepticism. As negotiations began, cultural misunderstandings surfaced almost immediately. What seemed polite gestures on Earth were misinterpreted by Zor's advisors as signs of weakness or aggression. Tensions escalated quickly as both sides struggled to find common ground amidst their vastly different customs. Dr. Rodriguez realized that this was not merely about convincing Zor. It was about bridging an enormous gap between two worlds that had never truly understood each other. A flicker of hope. Despite these challenges, moments of connection emerge, shared laughter over miscommunications, or mutual admiration for technological advancements, showcased by both sides, brought brief glimpses of hope amid rising tensions. The time was running out. Each passing hour brought them closer to potential conflict, unless they could find a way to communicate effectively before mistrust hardened into hostility. As night fell aboard the mothership, casting shadows across its metallic surfaces, Dr. Rodriguez gathered her team in their quarters, a small space filled with holographic displays showcasing Earth's greatest achievements. "We have one chance," she urged them passionately. "We must show them who we are, our creativity, our resilience. We cannot let fear dictate our fate." And so they began crafting presentations designed not only to impress, but also to inspire, stories that encapsulated human ingenuity throughout history, from art and music to scientific breakthroughs that had transformed lives on Earth. With each passing moment spent preparing for what lay ahead, hope flickered brighter amidst uncertainty, a testament to humanity's unyielding spirit, even when faced with overwhelming odds. This marks the end of Part 1. The gathering storm in Earth stands alone against the Galactic Empire. One last warning. The diplomatic mission. As the shuttle glided through the void, Earth slowly faded from view, replaced by the vastness of space. Dr. Elena Rodriguez felt a mix of excitement and anxiety churning within her. This was no ordinary journey. It was a mission that could determine the fate of humanity. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders as she glanced at her team, each member lost in their thoughts. Preparing for the unknown. The delegation consisted of scientists, diplomats, and cultural ambassadors, each bringing their unique expertise to the table. Among them was Dr. Amir Patel, a brilliant engineer known for his innovative designs that had revolutionized Earth's technology. Next to him sat Maya Chen, a renowned artist, whose work captured the essence of human emotion. Together, they represented the best of what humanity had to offer. "Remember," Dr. Rodriguez said, breaking the silence, "we're not just here to plead for peace, we're here to show them who we are." Her voice was firm but encouraging. "We have achievements that can inspire even the most hardened hearts." Maya nodded, clutching a holographic display showcasing her artwork, pieces that told stories of hope, struggle, and resilience. "Art can bridge gaps where words fail," she replied thoughtfully. As they approached the alien mothership, a colossal structure that dwarfed their shuttle, awe washed over them. The ship's surface shimmered with an otherworldly glow, pulsating like a heartbeat in the darkness of space. First impressions. Upon docking, they were greeted by Commander Zor's aides, tall beings with elongated limbs and shimmering skin that reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. The atmosphere was charged with tension. Every step they took echoed in the vast chamber where Zor awaited them. "Welcome to my ship," Zor intoned, his voice deep and resonant. "You come seeking peace, or do you bring war?" Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, heart racing but resolve firming her stance. "We come seeking understanding," she replied boldly. "We are not your enemies. We wish only to coexist." Zor regarded her with piercing eyes that seemed to see through her very soul. "Your kind has much to prove," he said slowly, his tone laced with skepticism. The cultural exchange. The initial moments were fraught with misunderstandings as cultural differences became glaringly apparent. What seemed polite gestures on Earth were misinterpreted by Zor's advisors as signs of weakness or aggression. Tensions escalated quickly as both sides struggled to find common ground amidst their vastly different customs. Dr. Rodriguez realized that this was not merely about convincing Zor. It was about bridging an enormous gap between two worlds that had never truly understood each other. "Let us begin with a cultural exchange," one of Zor's advisors suggested cautiously. "Show us what makes your species unique." With a nod from Dr. Rodriguez, Maya stepped forward and activated her holographic display. Images of Earth's landscapes filled the chamber: lush forests, towering mountains, and vibrant cities bursting with life. "This is our home," Maya said passionately. "Each image tells a story of our struggles and triumphs." As the visuals played out before them, Zor's expression softened slightly. He seemed intrigued by the beauty and diversity of Earth's cultures. The power of innovation. Next came Dr. Patel's turn to present his work, a series of technological innovations designed to improve life on Earth and protect its environment. He showcased renewable energy solutions and advancements in medicine that had saved countless lives. "This is what humanity can achieve when we work together," he explained earnestly. "We have faced challenges that could have destroyed us, yet we persevered." Zor listened intently as Dr. Patel spoke about humanity's resilience in the face of adversity. The commander appeared contemplative, perhaps reflecting on his own empire's history. A moment of connection. As discussions continued over hours that felt like days, moments of connection began to emerge. Shared laughter over miscommunications or mutual admiration for technological advancements showcased by both sides brought brief glimpses of hope amid rising tensions. But time was running out. Each passing hour brought them closer to potential conflict, unless they could find a way to communicate effectively before mistrust hardened into hostility. During one particularly tense moment, Zor leaned forward and asked Dr. Rodriguez about Earth's greatest fear, the fear of extinction at the hands of a more powerful foe. Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath before responding. "We fear losing our identity and our ability to create," she said softly. "Every song sung, every painting made. It is part of who we are." Zor seemed taken aback by her vulnerability, but nodded slowly in understanding. The weight of humanity. As night fell aboard the mothership, casting shadows across its metallic surfaces, Dr. Rodriguez gathered her team in their quarters, a small space filled with holographic displays showcasing Earth's greatest achievements. "We have one chance," she urged them passionately. "We must show them our creativity and resilience. We cannot let fear dictate our fate." With renewed determination, they worked late into the night crafting presentations designed not only to impress, but also to inspire, stories that encapsulated human ingenuity throughout history, from art and music to scientific breakthroughs that had transformed lives on Earth. A flicker of hope. As dawn broke aboard the alien vessel, illuminating its vast interior with soft light, Dr. Rodriguez felt a surge of optimism wash over her team. They had shared their stories. Now it was time for Zor and his advisors to share theirs. Would their efforts be enough? Would they be seen as more than just a primitive species? As they prepared for another day of negotiations filled with uncertainty yet brimming with potential, hope flickered brighter amidst uncertainty, a testament to humanity's unyielding spirit, even when faced with overwhelming odds. And so they stood together, humans united in purpose, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in their quest for peace against an empire that loomed large over them all. This concludes Part 2. The diplomatic mission in Earth stands alone against the Galactic Empire. One last warning. Encounter in the void. As the shuttle docked with the Galactic Empire's mothership, a wave of anticipation washed over Dr. Elena Rodriguez and her team. They were about to step into a realm that had been the subject of countless fears and speculations. The vastness of space surrounded them, a stark reminder of their isolation and the enormity of the task ahead. Stepping into the unknown, the airlock hissed open, revealing a corridor bathed in an eerie, bioluminescent glow. The walls were smooth and reflective, creating an almost dreamlike atmosphere. Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves as she led her team into the heart of the alien vessel. "Stay close," she instructed, her voice steady despite the fluttering in her chest. "We need to make a strong first impression." As they walked, they passed alien soldiers, tall and imposing figures clad in sleek armor that shimmered under the ship's lights. Their expressions were unreadable, but Dr. Rodriguez sensed an underlying tension in the air. Every step felt like a dance on a precipice. One misstep could lead to disaster. The Grand Chamber. Finally, they arrived at a grand chamber filled with intricate designs that seemed to pulse with energy. At its center stood Commander Zor, flanked by his advisors, each one more alien than the last. Zor was a towering figure with sharp features and piercing eyes that seemed to scrutinize every detail of their appearance. "Welcome," he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. "You come seeking peace, or do you bring war?" Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, her heart racing, but her mind clear. "We come seeking understanding," she replied firmly. "We are not your enemies. We wish only to coexist." Zor's gaze bore into her, assessing her sincerity. "Your kind has much to prove," he stated slowly, his tone laced with skepticism. Cultural misunderstandings. As discussions began, it became evident that communication would not be easy. The cultural differences between humans and the Galactic Empire were vast, leading to frequent misunderstandings. What was considered polite on Earth was often misinterpreted as weakness or aggression by Zor's advisors. Dr. Patil attempted to explain Earth's advancements in technology, but found himself interrupted by an alien who gestured wildly, clearly agitated by something he had said. Frustration mounted as both sides struggled to find common ground amidst their vastly different customs. Maya Chen stepped in with her artwork, hoping to bridge the gap through creativity. She projected images of Earth's landscapes and cultural achievements onto a holographic screen, hoping to evoke emotion and understanding. "This is our home," Maya said passionately. "Each image tells a story of our struggles and triumphs." Zor watched intently as images of Earth's beauty filled the chamber, his expression softening slightly as he absorbed the richness of human culture. A moment of connection. Despite the initial tensions, moments of connection began to emerge. Shared laughter over miscommunications lightened the atmosphere as both sides found humor in their misunderstandings. Slowly but surely, barriers started to crumble. During one particularly tense moment, Zor leaned forward and asked Dr. Rodriguez about Earth's greatest fear, the fear of extinction at the hands of a more powerful foe. Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath before responding. "We fear losing our identity and our ability to create," she said softly. "Every song sung, every painting made, it is part of who we are." Zor seemed taken aback by her vulnerability, but nodded slowly in understanding. The turning point. As hours turned into days aboard the mothership, negotiations continued but were fraught with challenges. Each meeting felt like navigating a minefield. Progress was slow, and often met with resistance from Zor's advisors, who remained skeptical about humanity's intentions. One evening, as they gathered for yet another discussion, Dr. Rodriguez proposed an innovative idea, a demonstration showcasing human ingenuity and resilience through a live performance combining art and technology. "We can show you what we can achieve when we work together," she suggested earnestly. Zor considered this proposal carefully before nodding slowly. "Very well," he said finally. "But know this, failure will not be tolerated." Preparing for the showcase, with Zor's reluctant approval secured, Dr. Rodriguez and her team set about preparing for their demonstration. They worked tirelessly day and night, blending Maya's artistic vision with Dr. Patel's technological expertise to create something truly spectacular. As they rehearsed in a small chamber aboard the ship, excitement mingled with anxiety among the team members. Would their efforts be enough? Would they be seen as more than just a primitive species?